Hello, everyone. Very, very hearty welcome to all of you for today's session. We welcome you here in Australia for the 16th day of the 21-day series. So to all our returning participants, a very, very hearty welcome. Thank you for being so sincere. Thank you for being so regular. This is a journey as much as it is for us, it is for you. And very happy to embark on this journey with all of you together. So as you know, this week we have been doing the energy centers. So far, we've done 5, and today we're going to do the 6th one. So a quick revision, we did the, it's day 15. Thanks, Rachita. It is day 15. Sometimes you just get confused because it's such an ongoing event. It is the 15th day of the 21-day series. So my apologies. So quick revision, we've done first, we did the Muladhar, which is the first energy center. It is represented on the base of our hand right here. So this section on our hand represents the Muladhar. It is an energy center that represents innocence. It is the foundation of our subtle system. So it is a very, very, very important energy center. After that, we did the Swadhishtan chakra, which is the second energy center. It is represented on the 2 thumbs. The left and the right are represented on the thumbs. This is where we get the pure knowledge, pure desire. This energy center makes us creative. It gives us the creative talents. It makes us more aware towards creativity, arts, music, and those kind of things. And this is also a very important center as it looks after the liver. So even though we think from the brain, in Sahaj, we say that according to the subtle system, the thoughts sort of originate from the Swadhishtan energy center. After that, we did the Nabhi, which is the 3rd energy center. This is where we get satisfaction from. This is where we find our peace. So when we meditate on this energy center, all the knots in the tummy, the anxiety sort of starts going away, makes us more generous. And the finger for this one is the middle finger on both the hands. The middle finger on both the hands is represented on this energy center. After this, we did the heart, which is a very important energy center. This is where the spirit resides. This is where we learn how to love everyone. This energy center is where we find security. This is where we find the love and compassion for everyone. When this opens, it sort of makes you a very secure person. So our heart makes us a very compassionate person where there's no hatred, no place for any kind of anger. Moving on, we did and the heart is represented on the little finger on both the hands. So it's on the little pinky finger. After this, we move towards the throat, the 6th energy center, which we did yesterday. It is represented on the 2 index fingers on our hand. And this energy center gives us the sweetness in our voice. It makes us, gives us the ability to talk, to communicate. It gives us a very contagious personality where we can make friends easily. We can become a people's person. And so in an obvious manner, it represents being collective. So you can be a harmonious collective when this energy center opens. And it also helps you get rid of all the guilt. So on the left-hand side, we collect a lot of guilt, and it sort of stores on the left side. So once we meditate on this, the guilt sort of goes away. And it also gives you sweetness in your speech. So when you are using your Vishuddhi in a good manner, you do not dominate anyone. You do not aggress anyone. And neither do you get aggressed or dominated. So today we're going to move on a very important energy center, which is on the forehead, the 6th one, which represents your Agya Chakra. This is the energy center where forgiveness becomes a very big quality. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass on to our today's presenter, Tarini. But before that, for those of you who did join, we had some lovely live music playing. So we have to thank Daniel Firth. He's from Sydney, and he was actually playing the flute live. So what you heard was not a recording, it was live music. So a very, very big thank you to Daniel for the amazing flute. And he also played yesterday. So a big thank you to Daniel. So now over to Tarini, our presenter for today, who's going to talk about the Agya Chakra. And just to, before actually, one more very important thing before I hand over to Tarini, we will have a workshop tomorrow. So I'm going to talk more about this at the end, but we're hosting a workshop tomorrow. So please make sure if any one of you are watching live on YouTube or who catch up a bit later, if possible, if your time allows, do try to join in live tomorrow. And we will be hosting the workshop in a small group, which will not be cast on YouTube because Zoom doesn't allow it. So if possible, do try to join in. We will have quite a few Sahaja Yoga practitioners. So we will create quite a few rooms tomorrow, and we'll try to have smaller groups so that you can get time and space to interact. Please keep 90 minutes available and do join in on Zoom tomorrow on time. If you do watch the recording, you will miss on the session. So if possible, do join in on time tomorrow. And yeah, that's about it. We'll have a meditation first today, and then we will have the presentation for the Agya Chakra, which will be given by Kirti. So Tarini ji will do the meditation followed by the presentation on the Agya Chakra. So over to Tarini. Thank you. Tarini, you have to unmute yourself.
Now good?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. First, I'll introduce myself. I'm Tarini McLean, and I'm in Australia, and I'm practicing Sage Yoga since a few years now. And I explain myself like I was a very ill or a lot of problems and very angry, egoistic person. I need a helmet now. So after meditation, like those who are facing some problem, physical problem, mental, emotional, any kind of, just doing meditation, it healed me completely. So that was the maximum, like the epitome of the happiness for me to be, a normal person. So it was like that. It came like that, and it changed a lot, a lot. It will change us, our circumstances. It changed our personality. As she explained, we become more sweet, happy, joyful, and we become very collective person. We'll start with a small meditation, and then Kirti will take over and she will explain the Agya Chakra. And we can have Shumatiji speak if possible. Yeah, thanks. We can see Mother's Shumatiji's bindi dot on her forehead that stop our thoughts and that help us to go into thoughtless awareness. We'll watch for a while and slowly close our eyes when you feel you are sufficient enough, like thought is not there. And we keep both hands on Mother Earth. If you are sitting on a chair, you can pull both hands down. And we focus on Muladhar. It's a base. And it have a quality of Mother Earth. We can pray to Mother Earth. As we know, we clean out through 5 elements. We pray to Mother Earth to remove any negative feeling or negativity is there in our Muladhar, any stress. And the more Muladhar is cleaning, the more you feel more Kundalini is rising. And you're going into deep meditation. Please, Mother Earth, clean us completely. Allow us to have your quality of compassion, forgiveness, we can put our both hand on lap, and from right hand we can put our right hand on mid Swadhishtan. This is the first energy center from Kundalini. Attention on Sahasrara and on left hand's fingertips. Here we can pray to remove all toxin from us, from all the stress from us, and make us creative in our thought, in our being. To see creativity, to be creative. From there, we can go to our left heart, right hand on our left heart. Always remember, it's very sacred place in our body. Pray from heart. Mother energy, please fill my heart with love for everyone, whether I know them or not, any race. Fill my heart, love, full love for everything, whether it's Mother Nature or a sky or a water, everything. Please open my heart. Allow me to have love for myself. Make me detached witness. I can't be biased. Make my heart be sensitive. Allow me to enjoy my spirit. Allow me to see everything through my spirit. Slightly move your hand to mid-heart. Here, we'll ask with full authority, Mother Kundalini, please secure my heart. I should feel secure in your love. Remove any fear in me. Mid-heart is a place where you develop your antibodies. If you are strong in your heart, you are a strong individual. Remove all illusion that make me frightened. Stop me to see the reality. Mother Kundalini, please come in my heart. Here we can breathe in and store. And breathe out. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. It can be normal. We'll go to left Swadhishtan. Mother Kundalini, please give me the pure knowledge and develop me the strength and the capacity to see the truth in chaos. See the divine, see the light in the chaos. Whatever you will ask, you will get. And remove all impure knowledge in me. If you having thoughts coming and going, don't fight with them. Just say, I forgive. You will amaze, it will go. And you will establish thoughtless awareness like that. I forgive. Mother, I forgive. We can come to our forehead and little bit pushing down and pressing from both sides of the right hand, like the way we do in headaches. And here we really pray, Mother, allow me to forgive everyone. Don't think about anyone, just forgive everyone and everything. And I forgive every situation that I felt hurt. And I forgive myself for everything. Go with the flow. Don't think. Forgive. And I forgive everything that I cannot change. in my life, in my past, anything. I forgive anything that I cannot change. Allow me to accept things that I feel it's not right. Make me a person that don't react to outside. Allow me and Mother Kundalini to cross Agya Chakra. The more you forgive, the more you feel more Kundalini strands are going out, getting strong, and you getting thoughtlessly aware and deep in meditation. Don't think, forgive, that right hand go to back Agya, that on our backside. Rest our head on our hand, look up like looking sky and pray, O Divine Mother Energy, please forgive me if I done anything wrong. From your heart, from this life, past life, anywhere, if I knowingly and unknowingly hurt anyone, please forgive me. Don't worry. Don't worry about the thoughts. Let it go. Don't hold. Don't get fear. You'll be drenched. You'll be clean out. And I forgive. Please forgive my family. And my forefathers. Let it go. And put our hands back into our lap. Don't fight with your thoughts. Let it go. Forgive. Mother, forgive. And hand or go to our Sahasrara and press clockwise 7 times. Mother, please establish my self-realization. Please remove all obstacle which is stopping me to be self-realized and thoughtlessly aware in me. Put your hands down. Those who feeling mid-heart still, they can put their hand on mid-heart. Don't fight with yourself. It's okay. your mid heart, you can say, Mother Kundalini, allow me to learn, love myself. Allow me to respect myself. You can open your eyes slowly when you are ready.
I think to Kirti. Oh, okay. Sorry, we are going to listen to Mataji's talk after this. I'm really sorry about it.
So today is a day when you have to promise me that you will meditate every night, every evening, maybe in the morning also. Whenever it is possible, if you can go into meditative mood, you are in contact with this divine power. Then whatever is good for you, whatever good for your society, for your country, all is done by this divine power. You don't have to overpower the divine power. You don't have to order, you don't have to ask. Just if you meditate, you are one with this all-pervading power, which is another great blessings to us. Unless and until your Sahasrara is open, all the blessings of the divine power cannot come to you. Cannot. Maybe you might get some money, you might get some jobs, you might get this and that. But your own development is only possible when you meditate and your Sahasrara is completely open and open to truth. Now the truth is that this divine power is compassion, is love. This is the truth. They say God is love, God is truth. So the equation has to be made that truth is love and love is truth. But it's not a truth that as you have for your own children, you have for your family. Attached love is not truth. If you are attached to somebody, then you never see the bad points of that person. If you are angry with somebody, then you can never see the good points of that person. But it's a complete detached love. And that love is extremely powerful. Because whenever you project that love to anyone, you will be surprised. The problems of that person will be solved, his personality will improve, everything will work out in a very big way, and his life will be changed. But if you are attached to anything whatsoever, that attachment itself causes problems and doesn't allow Sahaj to grow. This attachment could be any kind. For example, you can be attached to your country, attached to your society, attached to your family. It can be of any kind. But when Sahasrara is open, you learn one thing is detachment. It just happens that you get detached. Though, you are not running away. As it is in Sahaja Yoga, we don't believe in people who run away from society and go to Himalayas, or that I call it as escapism. That is not the point. What happens is that you are there, you see everyone, you watch everyone, you know everyone, you are close to everyone, but you are a detached person. It's a state of mind that you achieve when Sahasrara is open. Then that state you are dealing with people, you are dealing with problems, you are dealing with situations, but you are not involved in it. There's no involvement. And that involvement which you had before can never give a complete insight what is happening, what is the truth is about any situation. So this detachment helps. The greatest thing of the detachment is that you are not affected. No use saying that, oh, you are not affected, mother, so how can you feel for another person? How can you have compassion for another person? Because if you feel for another person, then only you can solve the problem. But this feeling that you have is again a kind of an attachment. It is not a real feeling, because it doesn't help. The person is crying, you are also crying. The person is troubled, you are also in trouble. And this does not help that person, nor will it help you. So to have detached in no way means you do not feel the another person. You do feel. You feel the agony of that person, the trouble of that person, of the whole society sometimes, and of the whole country. But that your feeling is so detached that the all-pervading power takes over. First, we must have full faith in the capability of this all-pervading power. As soon as you are detached, you say, you do it. Finished. Once you say that, you are going to do it, it's you who is going to do it, whole thing changes completely, because you transfer all your responsibilities, all your problems to this divine power, which is so powerful, which is so capable, which can work out anything. So whenever you think that this problem you are going to solve, you are the one who is going to do it, then all right, the divine power says, all right, try your luck. But if you can really put this problem to the divine power, it will work out. We have all kinds of problems in Sahaja Yoga, especially when we find that people are not so much attracted to Sahaja Yoga. They are few in number, then you feel very bad about it. But have you tried to meditate on this point, and have you tried to put this problem to the divine power? Why should we worry when we have divine power available through our Sahasrara? Why should we worry? Why should we think about it? Just leave it to the divine power. If that is possible, if that you can achieve, see, which is very difficult for human beings, because they live with their ego, they live their conditionings. But if that attachment to all these things goes away, then what you do is just leave things to this power. Krishna has said in his Gita, Sarva dharmanam parityajya mamekam sharanam vaja. Forget about all your dharmas. Dharmas means meaning that we have a dharma of a wife, of a husband, of a member of the society. All of them have their own dharma. But he says, leave them and leave it them to me, and I'll manage. This is it we have to learn, is to say that it's this divine power which will solve our problems. As human beings, it's a very difficult state. And this state only can be achieved through meditation. I'm not saying that you go on meditating for hours together, not necessary. But with full faith in yourself and in the divine power. If you work it out, I'm sure it's not difficult to rise to that state of consciousness. That is what we have to achieve. It's possible for men as well as for women. They don't have to think, how can we mother do it after all? See, all such people are no good for Sahaja. Those who have diffidence about themselves cannot do anything. But those who are surrendered and those who think they can do it can manage all this transfer of their power to the divine power. Just put it on the divine power. Now supposing I have a car which can drive me down. So if I have a car, then I don't put bullocks on it, that I don't push my car. I just sit inside and use it. In the same way, if you have this great power around you, if your Sahasrara is absolutely, completely submerged in it, then you will be amazed how things work out for yourself. I will give you an example of Sahaja Yogi. He is no more now. He was a fisherman, ordinary fisherman, but also he was educated, so he was working in a bank. This one was going one day to do some Sahaja Yoga work, and he had to go by boat. So when he came out, he saw the whole place was clouded and it was about to burst out into a big havoc. So he got very much perturbed about it, that what is this? Immediately his Sahasrara was so open and good. Immediately he said, now I leave it to this divine power to stop all these things happening. I don't want it to rain and to have any problem till I come back home and go off to sleep. And it was surprising, people told me that, Mother, the clouds and everything were there all throughout, but it did not rain, did not do anything, and there was no chaos of any kind. He went to another island where he had to go, he did Sahaja Yoga and came back. And then when he went to sleep, then only everything started pouring down. So nature, everything, every leaf, every flower, everything is worked out through the divine power. So we should not have our ego that we can do something ourselves, we can manage ourselves. Once you have that kind of a thing, you are not yet that much developed, you are not that much grown up in Sahaja Yoga. But to
I think, apologies for that. I think Daniel got muted accidentally. We were really enjoying that music. So let us continue to be in that meditative state and see if we can have a little bit more music with him in a little while. So as we continue to be in that state, let us remember that this energy center called the Agya Chakra, this is where our ego and our conditionings are our habits and the mindset that we have developed, which sort of becomes really strong, which gives us a very strong opinion on things. It somehow becomes a roadblock in our own learnings, in our own growth. Our anger becomes a very big roadblock in our spiritual ascent. So as we continue with this meditative state, let us place our right hand on the forehead and gently bend our head down as if we are nursing a headache. And with full confidence, let us pray, first of all, to our Kundalini energy to give us the ability to forgive everyone. Mother Kundalini, please give me the strength and the ability to forgive everyone. And also to forgive myself for all the mistakes I may have done knowingly or unknowingly. Now, let us say with full confidence, I forgive everyone. I forgive everyone. Mother Kundalini, please forgive me as well. Forgive me for all the mistakes I may have done knowingly or unknowingly. Mother Kundalini, please keep my ego in check. Please keep my bad conditionings in check so that I can grow in my spiritual ascent. Because it is only when we forgive, the Kundalini energy can really manifest and pass through this energy center to reach the final door, the final energy center, which is on the top of our head, the Sahasrara Chakra. The energy center with 1,000 petals, represented by the 1,000 nerve endings in our brain. Before we massage our Sahasrara, let us take a deep breath. Let us breathe through the freedom of forgiving everyone. And now let us massage our Sahasrara. Tightly place the palm, stretch your fingers, and firmly place the palm on the top of your head and gently give it a massage in clockwise direction. And let us pray with full confidence. Mother, please establish and deepen my self-realization. Please let me feel the love of the divine on my fingertips. Please strengthen my virtues from within. And please take me deep into my meditative state. Now let us raise a few strands of this energy with your hand directed towards the top of your head. We can do it one more time. Now with the same state, let us put on a bandhan. So let us raise our kundalini and make one firm knot. Let us do it for the second time. And this time, let's make 2 knots. Let us do it for the third time. And we'll make 3 knots. And now let's make the protective bandhan 7 times, like a rainbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let us fold our hands in Namaskar. And as we explained yesterday, in Hindi, when we pay obeisance to our Mother Kundalini, we say Jai Shri Mataji. So Jai Shri Mataji, everyone. And I hand over to Kirti so she can begin the presentation on the Agya and the Sahasrara Chakra.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for the meditation. And now, after the meditation, what we begin is here we do a bit of knowledge sharing about the chakras and about our meditation, what we just did, just to understand the meditation a bit more and just to understand our subtle system, our own energy centers. So let us start with the Agya Chakra first. As we move on to the next slide, the Agya Chakra, as we know, it is located at the base of the brain. It is at the level of our forehead. So the position in forehead is here. Just when we were doing the meditation and we put our hand on our forehead, this is where our Agya, the 6th energy center, is placed. And in our hands, we feel it on our 3rd finger of our hands. And in our feet, just near the pinky toe, we can also feel some sensations. It really depends how your subtle system is trying to give you a sign. And as you become more aware, you feel these sensations sometimes on your hands, on your forehead, or on your feet. And the gross expression is of the optic thalama, where we can feel the sensation of the Agya. Now, moving on to some more knowledge about this energy center. The element, as we know in our meditation, the Sahaja Yoga meditation, we make use of the natural elements. So, Agya has the element of light, and this energy center has 2 petals. And as we go along, the color is silver, the planet is sun, and as I explained, the place on the hand where we feel the sensation of this energy center is our ring finger, the 3rd finger. For the qualities now, moving on, about this energy center, as we did in the meditation as well, the first is forgiveness. And I'm sure even after the meditation, as you went along, our heart feels so light as we forgive everyone and forgive ourselves. So this energy center gives us the qualities of forgiveness. When you forgive others and forgive yourself, you move on to that state of thoughtless awareness. And at the same time, it gives you that humility and that compassion for others and even for yourself. And as we go along the next slide, for the Agya, what are the benefits now? As human, we always try to see the benefits. If I'm doing the meditation, if I'm doing that, how would it benefit me? But this energy center also explains us that as we forgive others, as we have that love and compassion for others, and at the same time for ourselves, we build that power to forgive. It is such a big tool and a weapon that as our heart grows big, as we build that compassion, we forgive others. So it makes us peaceful from within as well, because as you forgive, as you move on to that state of thoughtlessness, your heart feels so light. You're not having any thoughts about the past or about the future. And it gives you that mental silence from within. And in the next slide, as we see, that how to balance this energy center. So we say the affirmations that Mother, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. And also, for our own satisfaction, we say, Mother, please forgive me for any mistakes that I made against my spirit, knowingly or unknowingly. So together, first, I'll share with you a bit more knowledge about the Sahasrara as well as we move along. But just quickly like to mention here as well that while we are meditating on our Agya or on our seventh energy center, we try not to think of any situation or any person in particular, because what we are trying to achieve is so much bigger and it has so much love that it teaches us. There are so many things and situations in our lives that we carry forward, and we never let go of those things. And those small baggages just come on our shoulder and just collect there. And when we sit in the meditation, we just see how easy it is to forgive. And yes, often we are also asked the question that how can you just forget that? How can you just forgive that person and forget about that situation? But that's what we learn in the meditation, that just giving yourself that 5 minutes, 10 minutes each day in the morning and in the evening makes you feel so much peace from within. So I'll just share a couple of more things about the Sahasrara Chakra now. That is our seventh energy center. And then we'll do a small meditation at the end to complete the program. So the position in the head of our Sahasrara is the top, just at the top where we stretch out our palm and keep on the top of our head near the fontanel bone area. It is the soft bone, soft part on the top of our head. And in our hands, we feel it just in the center of our palms. Similarly, in the feet as well, you can feel it just in the center of your feet. On your screen, as you see, where the mouse is being pointed. And the gross expression in our subtle system is the limbic area, just here, where on the top of our head, where we have our soft bone when we were a child. So it's located at the crown of the head, we see. In the next slide, we see that this energy center has 1,000 petals. It is, in a way, the beauty is that it is an integration of all the other chakras. When we are trying to achieve that state of thoughtless awareness, as we call it, our mind is not swinging to the past or the future, and you're just enjoying the present moment that you're in. So the physical expression of this energy center is the limbic area of the brain. The planet is Pluto, and as I explained, the place on the hand is center of the palm. Sometimes when you can feel that coolness and you enjoy that state of thoughtlessness. In the next slide, we explain the qualities of this energy center. So as I said, that it is the integration of all the elements, and it gives you that silence from within that we really long for sometimes at the end of the day, or just when so many things are getting piled upon on. At the same time, it also gives us a state of doubtless awareness. I always say this, that if I have to explain Sahaj Yoga in 2 words, it is the beauty, it is thoughtless awareness. That your mind, when it is swinging to the past or the future, you're just meditating. You're taking that attention from outside to within yourself. You're finding that beautiful place, that beautiful spot that you have no thoughts at all. You are enjoying the present moment that you're in. You're enjoying with whatever you have at the moment and not running after what you don't have. But at the same time, the beauty is that you're self aware. You're aware of what you're feeling, you're aware of what is happening around you, but at the same time, you're achieving that state of silence. So, this is the energy center that helps us grow each day in our knowledge about the meditation, in our um, just that connection with the divine. When you feel that coolness on top of your head, I cannot explain the beauty of that in words sometimes. In the next slide, we also see that how to balance this energy center. So, as we place our right hand on top of our head, we hear us say that, Mother, please strengthen my self realization. And you can also give vibrations to the crown of your head by massaging your scalp in a clockwise manner. Just very gently, very smoothly. So, this was the knowledge sharing about our 6th and 7th energy center. Just to complete our program today, we can have a quick meditation as we understand the qualities of these energy centers and learn about the meditation and even about ourselves as we go along. So, just let us gently close our eyes, place both our hands on our lap. Take slowly a deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in nice and slowly and breathe out. Let us place our right hand on our heart, and this is where our spirit resides. And here, with all the love and compassion, we say, Mother, I am the spirit. Mother, please fill my heart with all the love and strength so that I can forgive others and forgive myself. Mother, I am the spirit. I am not this body, not this mind, not these thoughts. I am the pure spirit. Next, slowly we take our right hand now on our 6th energy center, that is the Agya. We clasp our hand on our forehead and look slightly downwards. And with all the love in your heart, we say, Mother, I forgive. I forgive. I forgive. Don't want to think about any particular person, any particular situation. Because you know that just forgiving and letting go feels so much light in your heart, in your mind. So, just with that compassion and love, Mother, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. For our own satisfaction, we say, Mother, please forgive me for any mistakes that I may have made, knowingly or unknowingly, against my spirit. You have to understand that we want to become a witness of our thoughts. We don't want to get attached to them. And as our heart becomes big, as we grow, we have more love towards others and towards ourselves. It becomes easy to just let go and forgive. Lastly, to complete our meditation, we stretch out our palm and keep it on top of our head, on our seventh energy center, the center of integration, center of love, of forgiveness, of all the elements together. Here we massage on top of our head very gently in a clockwise manner. And with all the love in your heart, Mother, please strengthen my self-realization. Mother, please strengthen my self-realization. Together, let us also thank our Kundalini, our motherly energy, for giving us this opportunity today, that we could all meditate together, we could all understand our subtle system and understand ourselves a bit more. Mother, thank you for my self-realization. Thank you for all the love, for giving me this opportunity that I can grow in my spiritual ascent. I can understand myself and my subtle system a bit more every day. Slowly, whenever you feel ready, bringing our right hand back to our lap. Slowly, we open our eyes. Look at your Mataji's photograph. So together, let us complete our meditation for the day by raising our Kundalini and taking a bandhan. So let us do that together. Tie one knot first, slowly bringing both our hands back to our lap. Now the second time. Now the third time. Tie 3 knots. And now let us take a bandhan, where we take our left hand from our right back to the left, and we do this 7 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Lastly, we join our hands with love and humility. So thank you, everyone. I hand over now to Monica.
Thank you so much, Kirti, for the lovely meditation and for the knowledge sharing. Thank you to Tarini for the beautiful meditation. Thank you to Daniel Firth for the beautiful music, and everybody at the back end who's working on the technical side, working on the website. So I take this opportunity to thank everyone for putting this together. And mostly thank you to all our participants who've been coming back every day. Your energy and enthusiasm really keeps us going. So thank you so much. Again, I'm going to remind you guys, tomorrow we have a workshop. I understand it is the weekend, but this is the only time where everyone can find a little more time. So please make sure you join the workshop tomorrow on Zoom. If you're watching it on YouTube, if possible, try to join on Zoom if your time zone permits. It is going to be a workshop in smaller groups. You do not have to do anything. You just have to join on Zoom. Keep your foot soak buckets ready, keep a candle ready, and keep some ice pack ready. And this is your opportunity to really interact one-on-one in a smaller group. And so that a meditation can be facilitated based on how you're feeling. So this is really an opportunity for you all to benefit in a smaller group rather than a big Zoom meeting. So please join on time tomorrow. And as always, the resources are always updated on freemeditation.com.au/21 days. We are continuously adding these presentations the knowledge that we're sharing, the music that we're sharing, everything's being uploaded. We've shown you countless times, and I will show you shortly the free meditation website as well on the screen. So let me just get my screen ready so I can share it with you to show you all the resources in case you are sort of new here. Just a second. So this is our website. It has also been posted on the comments for you to be able to see. This is the freemeditation.com.au website. As you can see, we are streaming on YouTube as well. And please don't fret, we are not removing these videos from YouTube. In case you have missed any session, you can always watch it later. And if you want to rewatch, that option is also available. So we are currently moving towards the third part. We are on part 2 right now, the chakra series. Tomorrow we will finish part 2 with the workshop, and then we will move towards part 3 for the remaining 5 days, which starts on Monday. You can join these sessions live. You can watch them on YouTube as well. Here you can see in detail, you have all the days. So this is currently the day we're on. So you will be able to find the resources just on this page here. And the music is also available here. So these are the resources right there. So you click on this, you see all the resources, the meditative music, you have Shrimataji's talks, Shrimataji's photographs, so you can print them and use them for meditation, all the useful links, a glossary of terms, everything is being uploaded here. So it is your one-stop shop for all the information. We will not be removing this website and we will not be removing these videos, so you can access them later, but we highly recommend join us live whenever possible. So as we conclude today's session and welcome you for the workshop tomorrow, we're going to give you 2 minutes of silence to decide if you want to continue with the Q&A and experience sharing. We will mostly have experience sharing today, and we will take in a few questions. So just take a few minutes to decide if you want to continue or if you want to finish the session. Thank you, everyone. All righty, welcome for the experience sharing. We have our Q&A panel and our experience sharing panel here. We'll shortly bring them on the screen. So thank you for staying back. We have Auntie Jenny, and we have Tarini, we have Kirti. So we'll shortly bring everyone on the screen. And we also have, hold on. We also have Kanan and Auntie Erin. So most of these people you've seen, either they've done the presentations here, or they've done the meditations here, or they've done the music here. The only new face, the brand new face we have here is Auntie Erin. So hearty welcome, Auntie Erin. Thank you. You remember Kanan from the didgeridoo music, and he was also on the Q&A panel a couple of days ago. And we have Tarini, who did the beautiful meditation today, and Kirti, who did the presentation today. She's also done a few meditations at the end, and hopefully she'll do a few meditations in the beginning in the days to come. And we also have Auntie Jenny. So a big hello to everyone and welcome for the experience sharing session. So today we've done the final Sahasrara and the Agya Chakra, which sort of completes our series. So before we take any questions, let's start with a bit of experience sharing. So I welcome Auntie Erin. Auntie Erin, do you have any experiences to share with your journey in Sahaj, any miracles you witnessed, any fond memories that you might have which really strengthen the faith?
Oh, I was trying to think of something that was specifically around the Agya Chakra, around forgiveness. I guess what we don't realize before we get our realization is how the things that we think affect our heart and affect our whole being. In sports science and those kind of disciplines, I had read about how athletes go through in their minds how to perform some highly technical, difficult athletic feat, and their body, their muscles tense and relax and pace them through that activity, so that when they come to perform it, they've practiced it a number of times. And if they're disciplined about it, it can be as effective as actually physically doing the sport, doing the actual activity and rehearsing it. And I think what we don't realise is that in our everyday life, when we're angry about something, when we think about, how we would like something to happen to this person, how we would like to change those circumstances and say that really angry thing back at the person that we didn't say at the time, we put our body through all of that practice, all of that stress and tension, we practice that. And for me, I grew up in a family of angry Irish communists, ready for bloody revolution, and our dinner table entertainments were angry, political conversations. So that was very much part of my my left side, all of my conditionings. And for me, it was just wonderful when I all of a sudden have permission not to worry about all that stuff, just to let it all go and forgive it all and, forgive everyone, just to all of a sudden break through that and no longer put myself and my heart and my body through all of that constant anger and tension. And I think, you forget after a while. I've been doing yoga for a very long time, and it's only when I sort of go back and do a program like this, I think about how my poor old heart was in those days, all stony and painful, really, full of tension. And now it's like big as all outdoors, very happy. And it's a wonderful blessing.
And that's very rightly said. Generally when we think of anger, unfortunately, we really narrow it down. We put it in a compartment and think about just the people we're angry with, or we have resentment towards. But it's also the ideologies that we've carried, our family has carried, some traditions we don't like. And they also sort of weigh us down in the sense of our anger. So like you said, the political ideologies, like people are sensitive towards political ideologies, or they're towards the ecological side effects the world's going through. So all of those things also really collect the anger, and we don't really think about it. So I think that should also be a part of our forgiveness, forgiving our own conditionings, forgiving our own anger towards the broader set of things, not just compartmentalizing the people we have the anger towards.
Yeah.
So thank you, Auntie Erin. That really does bring out that side of the Agya Chakra as well, where our deep-seated conditionings towards things also comes on the table. And does anyone else have any stories to share regarding, not specifically just the Agya, but generally, like if it is about the Agya, that's perfect, because it really helps. Because this center, when it's caught up, it's hard to open at times. It's only when it opens, then you realize, oh, freedom. But in general, I welcome you for any kind of stories, really. So let us go to Kirti. So Kirti, do you have any particular stories to share about your experience in Sahaj? You're a PhD student right now. You're doing a bit of research. Do you want to tell a little bit about yourself before you start?
Yeah, so at the moment I came to Australia about 3 years back now, and I did come here for my master's in food sciences. And after that, it's just beautiful how things worked out, that I was offered a scholarship from the university for a PhD. But just quickly sharing my experience here with how it all worked out, and how beautiful and spontaneously the journey went with Sahaj, as my confidence in myself grew as well. The changes, you don't understand those changes when you see those little things changing in yourself as well, I guess. That happened with me in Sahaj, that I used to be the person, and still sometimes that happens, that I used to be so nervous, and I used to have such less confidence in me, that even before giving a 20 marks test, my hands used to tremble sometimes. And I'm just thinking, what's happening? But yeah, that used to happen. Or sometimes if I have to talk to a stranger, I would rehearse that line 20 times in my mind and then talk to that person. So to that level, I understand sometimes. That's why when you get that anxiety from within, it's the little things that somehow when I talk sometimes now, it's funny. But when I think back, it used to give me that much anxiety. But just like everyone said here, just understanding Sahaj, understanding yourself in that manner. And as you grow old each day with that knowledge, you just understand that, okay, even if all these things are happening around me in that moment, all I have to take is attention within me and let go. Just say, okay, mother, please give me the confidence. Mother, please, you manage my work. And it just works out. It just works out so beautifully. And then later on you think, oh my God, did I just do that? Or did I say that? Are you sure? So things like that happen. And with the Agya, I would just say that I have always been the kind of person that not sometimes able to express myself more, or not just clear out things, but just take on that guilt, or just keep things in my mind all the time. And just like you said, that freedom, when you feel that, you just say, I forgive, I let go. And just, it's the simple things, like you just call that person, or in that situation, whatever you have or you're in. And when you let that go, it's just so beautiful. It's so light. You feel so light here in the heart, as if someone has lifted something heavy from your chest. So I think, yeah, just these little things, when you see those changes in yourself, you realize, okay, this is the power of the meditation. This is the power of the Kundalini. And that faith and that belief grows, I think, each day.
And Kirti, you're one of the calmest people I know personally. And her voice just, it's so soothing. It just puts you in that meditative state. The moment she starts talking, you're like, oh, okay. She's just that balanced voice. I personally really enjoyed. So thank you, Kirti, for sharing that. And I hope more people can find that confidence, or at least know that that's something you can always build on. So moving on to, we have Auntie Jenny, Tarini, and Kanan who've not spoken yet. So Kanan Bhaiya, do you have any particular interesting stories in Sahaj that you'd like to share?
Yeah, just about the Agya, especially also
Yeah.
what I'll share, like so basically, so before coming to Sahaj Yoga, so my background was more on the intellectual side, so I was seeking, so I reading the Vedanta Upanishads, all the scriptures. I tried that for a long time, for like many years, read all the scriptures back to front, got more and more confused. So because they all have some differences, like they all have the stories which are slightly different, and they contradict each other if you look at them as some kind of a scientific kind of book, like textbook. So yeah, and so finally after I came to Sky Yoga, I was lucky enough to to start that. And when so I could see suddenly after that, I was able to understand the scriptures, like what they really mean, and you start understanding what's like between the words or between the sentences what they really mean, and what are the things that you just overlook, saying that okay, it's from a different time period, therefore it's not it's not applicable now, but the spirit is this, so that so in terms of Agya, I would say my biggest challenge was to get over the intellect. Because if you're a person who's from a scientific background, like I studied, like background is engineering, and I'm like mathematician, like analyst right now, like so all these things make your mind as if you can solve everything, terms intellectually. So you can't go beyond the mind. It's the Agya level. When you get stuck at that level, so it's really celebrating once you start kind of realizing that you're so you're beyond your thoughts, you're beyond your intellect. So because your consciousness and so and your intellect is made out of consciousness, so you cannot really reason consciousness, kind of using your intellect. So you're beyond it, and as long as you trying to reason it, then you can't overcome it. So you have to be at a state where you you observe it, so you imbibe it rather than try to overcome it. It's hard to explain. What I mean is that you have to be in it rather than and be looking at it from outside. And so it was the biggest, like it took me a long time to really kind of like let go of the intellect, so you can really enjoy consciousness, which is beyond intellect. And after that, then you start understanding all the other things as well. It's not that you're giving up your mind or your intellect. Your concentration improves. You start understanding things. It's really sharpens your intellect. And you become a better mathematician, programmer. They do a lot of programming.
I had no idea. I didn't know you were a mathematician and you were in that kind of highly academic background.
Analytics.
So,
in a bank, I do analytics for a bank. So it's all the data and all those, all those things. So so it's one of these things that you become overall a better person, and it improves your intellect, improves your overall your yes, everything. Also, another thing I wanted to share was that like I used to, so before I started Sage Yoga, and afterwards, also my choice of like music entirely changed overnight. If I before I had my realization, I used to be like heavy metal fan. I used to always listen to heavy metal, for me. And straight away after I had my realization, after I came back home, I couldn't listen to it anymore. It was giving me a headache straight away. I couldn't understand why or what, but straight away, just I couldn't understand. I couldn't like it anymore. And a huge collection of all possible heavy metal, It was cassettes. It was before CDs even. It was cassettes, right?
Yeah, and now look at you playing the beautiful didgeridoo.
Yes,
So,
eventually I had to chuck all of it away because it was just I couldn't like listen to it. It was giving me a headache. Yeah, so you have
no,
all
that
this.
is
So people asking,
Xavier.
tell us what is the meaning of self-realization, kind of what happens to you and all those things. So you have to watch out for all these things. Is that like, if anything has changed in you in a way, like your thought process has changed, what used to react to before, what you used to like before, what you used to hate before, if those things have changed, and you feel, also something else happens, is that your, I would say your choice of friends or the people you hang out with, so you don't like your old friends who had their own ways of doing, things, like you don't like them anymore, like you don't connect with
And
them.
that's very subtle. I feel like they just draw out of your life. Like you don't get into fights with them. You
Yeah,
don't get into
slowly
arguments with them.
lose out. Yeah,
Yeah, it
slowly you
just
lose touch
slips.
with them. So the
Yeah.
old friends, especially from a uni and all that, like I went to IIT Delhi and I'm Ahmedabad. So
Wow.
all my those friends, who are always talking about jobs and other things, money, and just those things. You don't like those type of conversations anymore. Like you just like, of course, you get along with everybody, but you don't. Yeah, so you're not attached to your old friends, and you start liking different type of people over time.
And
So
that
it's
is yeah, that's a really another very interesting aspect. So Auntie Erin pointed out one really good one. Like we keep talking about forgiveness. So Auntie Erin brought on the table that the Agya Chakra does expand to our mindset, our conditionings towards our ideologies, things that we believe in, things that have come with our family, and those also sort of become a blockage in the Agya Chakra. And Karan Bhaiya has brought another one on the table, which is also very interesting, that if you come from if you're a very strong-headed person, and if you have ideologies that you've really believed in, or if you're very scientifically inclined, that also becomes a blockage. It also, like, we just forget that there is this entire universe, this cosmos that exists, which is running on its own. There are seeds that fall into the earth, sprout into trees, and then you have these beautiful flowers and fruits coming out. And all of this is controlled by something that is beyond our mind, beyond our intellect. But we sort of just forget about it eventually, because we just remember that we have certain powers and we believe too much into our mind. So this again gets blocked because of that. And that is another very interesting aspect of this particular energy center right here, that when it opens, it expands your horizon to the beyond. And Karan Bhaiya, Mataji has given a very interesting ideology on the same, that if you are standing on the Himalayas, then you can't see it, right? For example, there's a massive mountain, and if you're just standing on it, you can't see it. If you're standing too close to it, you can't see the magnitude of it. You have to really step back to be able to see how massive it is, what a glorious, beautiful mountain range it is. So you really have to step back sometimes. So we have to sort of step back from our intellect as well. We have to give our mind a bit of chance to explore all that is untapped because to believe that we know everything is to believe too much in yourself, which is like self-inflated ego, really. So when that ego bursts, then you realize that, you've just fallen flat on the earth. So to give yourself that chance to really know more, this center becomes very critical. So Auntie Jenny, would you like to add anything to that, or share any more stories about?
Yes, I think as well, and I think in the West too, we're brought up to believe that we can solve everything with our brain, that is the solution to everything. And I remember quite early, after starting Sahaja Yoga, I remember Srimataji saying that if you think, you are cutting off the divine from helping you. So I remember wondering at the time, how does that work? I don't know how that works. How can I solve anything if I don't think? I just don't know how that works. And around that time, I remember we had to do a play with our class. So we had to put on a presentation to the rest of the school. And it had to be on a particular theme. And I remember just trying to work this out with my brain and just thinking about it, not getting any sort of ideas how this would work out. And I remember I said to myself, all right, I'm just going to go and meditate because I'm not going to work this out now. So I went off to meditate. And then at the end of my meditation, this idea just came into my head, like this whole play with all the costumes and the props and what children would play, what parts. And it didn't come from me. It came from the divine. And when we put this play together and we performed it, I remember another teacher came up to me and said, how did you come up with all those ideas? And I wanted to say, well, it came from God, but I really couldn't say that. So I just had to say, I don't know. It just came to me. And that was a very good lesson to see that, yes, it is when we are thoughtless, we are at our most powerful, because that's when the divine works through us.
And as Shrimataji says that, when there's a storm and it's churning, the center of the storm, the eye of the storm is always very quiet. It is very, very silent. So as if you're in the storm and you're moving, that means your attention is just moving too much and there's no help really. It's only when you can really bring yourself in the center, in that eye of the storm where it's quiet, you sort of get protected. So you get all your solutions, you get all your answers, and everything's sort of, it falls into place really.
Yes.
So thank you, Auntie Jenny. And Tarini, any stories that you have to share?
Okay, it's a experience, you can say. There's a two different place in me. Like when I was single, when my parents was not meditating, and I had a lot of restriction. And then I got married, and I got full freedom to meditate anytime. There was no people going to put the TV on and all that. With that, I got so much, like I can do anything for Sahaj Yoga, and I can go with my heart. And I don't know, one day I was listening Shrimataji's talk, and I felt like I have to cook for homeless people. I don't know why I felt that. And I went and I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, as mother want. And the next Saturday, we cooked around 70 or 75 boxes. I'd never cooked for that much people. So I definitely asked for help. I said, mother, I never cooked for people, and I don't know how to cook for these much people. So it turned out good, and we went to city. And we spread, like we were searching, and we were giving, and they were so happy. Like I can't tell you the feeling. And it's 70 boxes we given, and one boxes was left, and we eaten definitely because we was very hungry. Then after that, my husband was working in city, and after 2-3 months, he's in a bank. So one homeless came, and he was brutally beaten by his local homeless people. They taken everything from him, and his this portion was broken, so he couldn't sign. And like Luke, he fell. You know how we don't know how divine worked through us, and he fell. I don't know what he fell, and he print out black and white Mataji's picture, and mother given realization to him, and through Luke given realization. And his words, we don't know how we've talked to people when these situations are there. And he said, keep near to you, she will protect you. And that man put Mataji's black and white picture on his heart. He went like this and he walked off. He couldn't have money, he couldn't do anything. And it passed, like Luke transferred to different branch, and it around 6 month time, that homeless person, in city he can go anywhere. He followed the vibration and he reached to the branch where Luke was working. And there was four tellers, and mother made it like that is a bloody busy branch, very busy branch, and four tellers is there. Anyone can go to anyone, and mother made him to go to Luke, and he looked at him. He was like, and he was telling him he was from Adelaide. He was telling him he's meditating, and he was wearing new clothes, and he booked a air ticket to go to his family back.
Oh, wow.
You know how it worked out. And next year, like he came, and when I saw, like he came from work, and he saw me, and his eyes were so dilated, and the state when they are in, you can feel the energy. I didn't spoke to him, and I let him in, and usually I go, and how's your day, and this and that. I didn't spoke to him. He came and he eaten. After that, he was telling me, he don't want his ego to go up, because in Western yogis, they are very watchful of their ego. And he was like, this happened, like he told me the whole situation. So next year, I was pregnant at that time. And next year, and I was hungry Jack, and I was a lazy bum. And I said, mother, if you really want me to cook, give a clear indication. Otherwise, I won't be bothered, because I'll be happy if someone cook for me. It was like that. And next year, I wake up, like, and it was mother made it so clear in our mind. He could go to anywhere. He went to Luke, and mother made him to see the result, the confirmations, like what happened with that small reaction to just cooking for someone.
Oh, wow. So you're saying that you cooked for the homeless people, and then this particular homeless person came to Luke's branch. And once he got Shivadaji's photograph, and he was meditating, and it was like a transformation that happened with him within a year. And he came back.
Left. He came. It was like divine. He can go. He's a homeless. He can go anywhere in the city. Okay. He followed the vibration. He said, I didn't feel nice to go to that branch. So I follow the vibration, and he don't have the collectivity, and he don't have anyone who will going to explain the things. And he meditated, he felt the vibration. He was saying, I was feeling hot. Something is wrong with me. So he was like, no, it's clearing. Slowly, when the heat will come out, coolness will come. In 6 months, that man's faith in mother, that, in black and white photo, just imagine black and white photo, and that he stopped taking drugs. He's ready to go back to his family in Adelaide.
That is just so amazing. And I remember Shrimati has really worked, I think in the initial years when she started Sahaj, she
Yeah.
also worked on a few homeless people. I think one of the, I'm not very 100% sure about the story, but it went like something about one particular homeless person. At that time, Shrimati's, for all those who don't know, Shrimati's husband, Sir C.P. Srivastava, was actually knighted in London. And he was a very high ranking officer with the United Nations. So he was the secretary of the United Nations Maritime Organization. So he was a very, very high ranking officer. And they lived in London for a very long time. And Shrimati once, after she started the Sahaja Yoga meditation in London, she brought a homeless person home, to her home. So when Shrimati's husband, Sir CP, came back home, he saw this unknown person wearing Sir CP's clothes. So he was actually wearing Shrimati's husband's clothes and sitting on the sofa having tea. And he was a bit shocked that who is this person who's wearing my clothes? And then Shrimati explained to him that it's a homeless person. She brought him home, made him take a shower, got him all clean, gave him nice clothes to wear, fed him, really looked after him. And he was one of the first people whom she brought into Sahaj, whose life was completely transformed. He was a drug addict, he was an alcoholic, he was abused, he was on the streets. And he was actually very well educated. The drugs made him do that, brought him on the road. And then once the transformation happened with the meditation, he really went back. He went back to his family, his life completely transformed. He was a very young person, I think in his 20s. You can actually read more about that, and we might share resources for those stories as well with you shortly. We'll probably upload them on the website.
Yeah,
So thank
when
you,
Luke
Lakshmi.
was sorry, when Luke was telling me the experience when he saw him second time, he was like he was not smelling bad. He was wearing new clothes, and he was not afraid. He was sure of himself, and he's going. So that the video where Sir CP is explaining, that was coming to attention. It was like all his words was referring to what Sir CP was explaining about the transformation he saw in him with that person. Yeah.
So the transformation really is possible with everyone, like because we are such individual people and we're facing issues in our own life which are so individualistic, we're still all the same. So no matter what scale or degree the problems are, once the transformation happens, it really looks after all the troubles we are going through one by one. So Auntie Erin, coming back to you, there's a quick question I want to ask, which a lot of people actually referring to Kanan Bhaiya's story as well. Quickly, Auntie Erin, I'll come back to you. I'm just going to ask quickly Kanan Bhaiya on this. A lot of people do keep asking that, will our ambitions go away when we meditate? When, like, say, Auntie Jenny said that, you stop worrying about your problems. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Kanan Bhaiya just mentioned that he's from IIT Delhi and he's from IIM Mumbai. These are really, really very, very prestigious institutions to qualify from, very, very high ranking universities in the world. And it's not easy, definitely not easy to get into these two universities or colleges, institutions, whatever you call them, but they're very, very high ranking. IIM Ahmedabad is for MBA. Now that clearly shows you've really paid a lot of attention to your academics. Of course, that would be the driving force for you to have a good career as well. And I believe you do have a good career. So that clearly shows that if you're in Sahaj, you definitely don't have to let go of all your ambitions. Now, Kanan Bhaiya, can you put a little more light so people have a little more clarity on what Sahaj Yoga means in terms of career? Because people do feel very confused.
I mean, okay, about this terms.
Bhaiya, can you talk a little loudly?
Yeah. Sorry, I mean, yeah. It's just about ambitions. What you're saying, like ambition is what? Like ambitions, you have desires of the future. Like you want a certain outcome of the future, right? Okay, so that so once you start, suppose meditating, so your ambitions or I would say, the desire for a specific outcome in the future, it goes away, right? So ambitions, like you it's like accept things. It's not that you stop of kind of desiring for things, but it automatically works out. So it's not so ambitions. So because if you have ambitions, or you have certain I would say ambitions, it's a different word. Like it's not, ambitions aren't difficult to in a way, because ambitions means that you want that you have a certain, I would say, mental concept of a specific outcome, right? So you say, like, I have to be at
For example, like if I'm in a job, so
yeah.
do I
want to
stop?
become a manager.
Do I stop?
Like,
Yeah. Do I stop worrying about getting a promotion? Do I stop?
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
of course,
What happens
everybody
is that-
wants that growth, right?
Yeah. And I think
what
just like
happens,
Karan,
you don't what happens, I've seen to myself, that you accept whatever it comes, right? Whatever comes, but you don't stop working for it, so you don't get attached to the results of it, but but you do a kind of good job, because you're doing it without any I would say fear of like failure or specific
So Karan
ambitions.
Bhaiya,
Yeah.
so Karan Bhaiya, I'm going to ask: Are you ambitious? Are you ambitious at work?
I don't understand this word ambitious. I mean,
Like, do you take your work seriously? Do you put in 100% hard work at work? Do you think about work all the time?
I don't think about work all the time. I mean, of course, nobody should think about work all the time, because you can't. First of
And
all,
I
you
think
shouldn't
that is the difference.
think about it.
Yeah.
Think about thoughts all the time. So you shouldn't have
And
thoughts all the times as well. So, but
and
it's like,
that's the line of difference we draw, that
yeah,
you don't stop working hard. You
that's
work
right,
hard.
exactly.
You be 100% honest in your work. You
become, I would say, like more effective in your work, right? You become
absolutely.
more effective at your work, and also something else happens is that you become, I would say, a lot more flexible. So you're open to changes, open to, as so you don't have a fixed idea of, like, terms of an outcome. And often, sometimes, like when a project fails, like you don't, so you don't mind it because something else is better. It was better, say, for it to fail, so because something else comes along, that was the right solution. So you don't, like,
And
if you have.
I think that's the spontaneity that comes in, that if
Yeah,
you
spontaneous that
you're
comes.
more
Yeah.
detached to your work, in the sense that you work hard, you give it your best, you give it your 100%, but because you're not so stuck with what you're doing, the spontaneity comes in, wherein that detachment from your work lets you move towards higher goals. Because when we're stuck on achieving something, then say, for example, if you know that you are supposed to go from here to here, that is your goal, right? That is your goal for your job, that you have to go from here to here. Now, if you don't let your mind become an obstruction, that could also open up. The divine
What
could
is
really
something
open
else
that up
that's
as well.
about that was like often you're asked in, like, interviews, like the questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years time, something like that. I don't know if you've ever been asked like that.
Yes.
So it is like, so what happened after Sky Yoga was that I stopped kind of planning what would happen in 5 years time, because you cannot, because the divine has, has a plan for you and you cannot see it. And when people ask this question, and and you always cringe, and you can't say that, well, I don't think about it, and they say, this person is not thinking at all. So you got to make up something. But in reality, is like what happens is that you don't plan for it, but things work out, and it's nothing to do with what job you're at. Like every job is honorable. Like and Sahaj Yoga has everybody, from all walks of life, everything, and so it's nothing to do with what you do, or it's like that. Like whatever you do, you become a better employee. And you because you do it without, let's say, so you're doing it for it's not for a specific outcome. So you're doing it because you have to do a job, and as much as possible, if you do it while being in thoughtless awareness, it works out much better.
Yeah.
Because it's hard sometimes. You go into so when frequent meditating is how. So it's so ambition is I would say kind of misused word, because you can only plan for in a small way in your head, so but outside the divine has bigger plans for you, right? And if you
Absolutely.
make your own plans, you come in the way of the divine,
Yeah.
so but doesn't stop you from doing your normal things, doesn't stop you from working really hard, because you don't feel so tired as well, and because you're not you're not so attached to failures, like it's something
No, absolutely.
something works well.
And yeah, no, thank you so much, Bhaiya. And I think that is the message to everyone, that please do not stop working. Don't think that you have to become a vegetable. Don't think that you have to give up on your career. You can absolutely be efficient, 100%, 110% efficient at your work, because you are not worrying about that promotion, because you are not worrying about the office politics, because you're not worrying about what people are saying and doing behind your back, because you have that faith that if you are working and giving it your best, and because you're not worrying, you yourself are not becoming an obstruction in your work, success will definitely follow. It is the law that if you are doing a good deed, it will definitely come with a good reward. But you're not focused on the good reward. You're not focused on the worry. You are just doing what you can do, which is hard work. So definitely look at Sahaj Yoga as an opportunity to let go of that worry.
Yeah, I think
that I would say, like, even if you don't get rewarded at the end, I would say, so what? Like at the end, it's only material. So exactly. So you got to. It's not necessary that you get always rewarded at the end.
No, absolutely.
So that
and it definitely doesn't mean that you stop working either. So
yeah, exactly. So so even if you don't get rewarded, so what? Like, you are the spirit, you are the same. It's not going to affect you in any way, right? So you can, you don't need much to live with, kind of live on. I'm just saying, like, you
absolutely,
you have to be satisfied with what we have. That doesn't mean that you stop working.
No, there is something I think. Absolutely, yeah. Kirti, you were saying something. You were adding to it.
I was just adding to, no, all good. I was just adding to what you were mentioning, and currently I was just saying that, and with that, I think with that faith, you believe somewhere, in the back of your mind or just in your heart, that things will work out for the best. And like Kanvi said, like, even if it's not working out, like, just for me, like last 2 weeks, I was just worried, like so many experiments I did, so many trials, like I was preparing 50 samples or something like that every day. They were not working. But in my heart, I just kept that patience, kept coming back to my meditation that yes, whatever will work out will be for the best. So even when it's for the next step in anyone's life, in anyone's journey of your career, like you said in particular, when we keep worrying about the next thing, the next promotion, that once you're just doing whatever is best, you're putting in your work while being in balance, it just works out for the best. You see changes in yourself, and you see changes, I think, even around yourself, how things work out, and it just beautifully works out, I guess.
Because I think half of our mind is always worried, so our efficiency is already dropped to 50%, right? Auntie Jenny, you also were saying something. I think you were adding something to it as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that in terms of ambition, I guess your discrimination changes in terms of what is good for you.
Yeah.
So you are still ambitious, but you also understand that if you're going for that higher position, how will that change me? Will it cause me to be more stressed? Will I have less time to do what I need to do? So even though, say, that promotion might be more money, more prestige, but I guess Sahaja Yoga teaches you to value different things. And that promotion may not be the best thing for you in your life, but there may be a different promotion that is better for you. And through Sahaja Yoga, you develop that innate understanding of what is really best for you. So, and that is what your goal becomes.
And I absolutely agree with that. Again, a very, very profound way of putting it, because that is what COVID has taught us, that, it is your family, the things that bring you joy, the things that bring you happiness are more important than the material well-being.
Well-being.
Material things can only take you so far. It's only that much, really. There's more significant things in life which you learn to prioritize. Like you said, that, that promotion might be good, but maybe it's coming at a cost of your family life, of a cost of bringing that, it's disturbing that balance in your life. So you would know where to draw a line. You wouldn't just keep rolling because that's the obvious thing to do. You are supposed to get a promotion. You are supposed to get more money. Maybe what you're getting is enough. No harm in stopping there either. No harm in taking it up either. So that discrimination is very important.
I'll add to experience. Before realization, I was very focused for my business. Like I stabilized and everything. I wanted to go high and, spread it. And when I got realization, it's changed me completely. It was not focused because when I went, it was for like my business was so in me, like you cannot take it out from me. And after realization, when I started getting in me, like my real sense was coming out of me, everything that was not good for me was, getting out of my life. It's just chopping off slowly. And today I'm not doing business and I'm not interested in it. And I'm into pottery, and I'm into different things. So it's changed so much. You never know what is good for you, because mentally when we think, okay, it's this job is good, I got the promotion, I got the salary, and go on. Maybe when Sahaj Yoga come in our life, it happened with many of us. Their job profile change.
Yeah.
Job
Your
profile
profession
change.
completely changes. Yeah.
Change up, and you never know why it happened, but when the transaction change and your meditation go stronger in you, the more kundalini rise from your top of your head, you become a different person. These all mundane things, I'm sorry to say mundane, but don't matter. You just leave it.
And I think that's the reason why most of these businessmen who've had a lot of money, who've established these big empires, at the end they've always towards the end of their life, they said that it's very insignificant. I remember Steve Jobs at the end of his life said that, no matter how much money he made, a big empire he had, it's really, I think his interview is very, very, that end note, the note that keynote speaker, he was, I think, at one of the universities at Stanford or something. And he said that, it was very insignificant. No matter how much success you get, no matter how much money you get, it's never sufficient. Shimataji said that your wants are insatiable.
Yeah,
you can never have enough. And that's the reason why you have to prioritize about things which are more important, and that discrimination really becomes very important. And that is what gets enlightened with Sahaj. So I'll come back to Auntie Erin. Auntie Erin, have you had any significant events in your life around something similar?
Oh, well, many. My sort of looking back on it, I think that I've been in Sahaja Yoga a long time. And for me, it's been a gradual, piece by piece, coming to understand, coming to get clearer about judging vibrations and what the cool breeze is telling me and when, and then learning to trust that around decisions, learning more and more to use it. So, you can practice, for example, not thinking all the way through an episode of washing up and seeing how that goes. And then you can practice not thinking all the way through doing some artwork. And then you can practice not thinking all the way through a meeting. And you gradually come to a deeper and deeper understanding as those experiences are the ones that are dramatically better and wiser and more effective. You gradually start to realize that that ego and superego, all that thinking, is really kind of your training wheels. And you just have to gradually keep experimenting and practicing to let go of that, and then just let that that love and compassion and intelligence that is that Kundalini energy just keep manifesting more and more in your life. And in terms of ambition, what I found is that you get kind of moved. So, times where I was preferring the quiet life in my job. I didn't really want to do anything that was more challenging or difficult. And I thought I was kind of nicely hidden away, but bang, I just got moved into a position that was, much more in the center of things, much more dynamic, much more demanding. But you see in those, well, it becomes challenging. And once again, it's, if you're in the Himalayas, it's easier to meditate. If you're in the thick of something that's dynamic and chaotic and demanding, then, it kind of develops you in a different way. So I think kind of, the divine gets ambitious for us. Doesn't matter so much what we want. And we have to grow and learn to center ourselves in that and develop our meditation and our ability to be detached in those circumstances. But in time, it's great, I've got to say.
I am a designer by profession, and I graduated from London College of Fashion. I studied from NIFT Delhi, which is a very good institute. Then I did my master's in London. Then I came back to India. Like, things didn't work out. The year I went to study, the visas got cancelled. So UK was closing up its border in terms of immigration. So I had to go back to India. Like, things just didn't work out. And when I went back to India, I realized that, the job just wasn't working for me. I wasn't in Sahaj at that time. And I think that is the point in my life where my frustration was building. Career-wise, things were not working. In India, they ingrain ambition in your blood. They're like, you have to work, you have to be successful. It is not an option. It is a necessity. And I grew up with the same mindset, wherein my career became the focal point of my life. I was all of 22, and I was living with so much stress because I felt like things were not working. And then I decided I'm gonna change my profession. And this was all just before Sahaj. And there's a very difficult exam that you can sit for. It's called the Indian Administrative Services Examination, IAS. I mean, it's 10 million people sit for an exam and only 100 make it. So it is that competitive. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but it is like this. India is just so populous. There's massive number of people who sit for that exam. So I was preparing for that exam when I came to Sahaj. And I think the stress of that exam really built up in me, and the anxiety was increasing day by day as the exam date was coming nearer and nearer. So just 1 month before I sat for the exam, I came to Sahaj. As soon as I came to Sahaj, I definitely flunked the exam. I failed the exam because it was so hard. I mean, you really have to be a bright mind to make it. But as soon as I came to Sahaj, my worries and my anxieties came down. I was sitting at home, I was jobless, and this job came from nowhere. And I landed back into design. The profession that I thought was not going to work for me, and I had completely thought I'm going to leave it. It worked out. Sitting at home, this job worked out. I moved back to design and had a really nice time working in India for one of the brands. I was designing menswear. When I got married and I came to Australia, and all of a sudden I come here and I realize I'm in Brisbane and there's no design industry here, no clothing design industry here. Again, I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere thinking, now what do I do? So I'm asking Webb, can we move to Melbourne? And he has a full-time job in Brisbane. And he's like, and I don't want to move to Melbourne. I really like Brisbane. And then I have no feet to stand on because he has his job. I can't push him to move when I don't even have a job in Melbourne. So out of nowhere, I'm not even a teacher, and this teaching job comes up. So currently I am teaching at a coaching institute here in Brisbane, and it's worked out so well. I started with one school and started with one class, no background in teaching, but turns out that I'm good at teaching. That's something that even I didn't know about myself. I didn't know that about myself either. My husband, he thought that, I'm so impatient. And he's like, the first day when I went to work, he kept worrying, please don't get angry at these kids. Please don't get impatient when children don't understand something. And he was at work when I called him, when I went the first day to work. And poor thing, I think he was getting a panic attack the entire time I was teaching. And as soon as I finished my class, the first thing, like within a minute, I get a call from him. How did it go? Was it okay? Were you all right? Were you impatient? I said, no, it went really well. It came to a point where my classes increased. I'm teaching in 5 schools now. Again, it's the connection you build because it's that spirit that connects with more people. You understand people better. It's something that heightens within. I feel like you just get, no matter what profession you put in, you can do it. That confidence comes in. And I don't know how, but I got so good at my job that the children, they wrote these letters to me that please don't stop teaching. Please don't, because I also teach on weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, because we do take extra classes on Saturdays and Sundays. So I wasn't getting to spend as much time at home. So for one term, I thought I'm just going to take a break. So I stopped my Saturday, Sunday classes for one term. I got called back because these children, they said that we're going to stop coming to the coaching if the old teacher doesn't come back. And when I went back, these kids are like, please treat us like your family. We are also your family. You have to come and teach us on the weekend. They specially made a video. For WebHub. They asked me to record it so I could show it to him that they really wanted me to come back. They're like, please don't stop coming on Saturdays and Sundays. So that's what I'm saying, that from being a designer to quitting design to getting back to design and to now getting into teaching, it just has been working out in a way that I don't even know. I have no answer, but it just worked out. Challenges came, I just took them on.
This is what I was explaining, you don't know what next going to come, it just happened.
Absolutely. So
also, that's what I was mentioning about ambitions. If you have ambitions means if you have specific ideas of ambition means you have a specific thought, like I want to build that. But so something better comes along, right? And if you're stuck with the old thought, and you'll be disappointed with, despite something better being there, so I would say it's not ambitions, but you aren't giving up your working, you're not giving up your working, but you're giving up your ideas of a specific outcome that you think is the right one for you, and letting go of the of that, and let the collective consciousness decide like what is right for you, and you to be open enough, to accept it when it comes to it.
Mm.
And that is again that's
much.
something that we can remember. You don't give up on working. You just give up on an idea that you have in your mind that you're fixated on. Again, something that we can all remember. You're not giving up on your work. You're just giving up on the idea of something working out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Today I actually
Stucking to one idea, like, okay, this need to work out, and it won't work out because it might be not divine plan.
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, Auntie Jenny, you were saying?
Oh, I was going to say today I heard a talk by Srimataji where she says, so you may be desiring to get into the other room through the wall, but you think that's the only way you can get into the other room is through the wall. So you bash your head against the wall and you're bashing and you're bashing and you're bashing because you think that's the only way to get there. So you're not looking around you, but then there's a door just 1 meter away, but because you're so focused on getting through into the other room through the wall, you miss the door completely. And I think that's the great learning, is that, like Kanan said, the flexibility, the surrender, the allowing the divine to take you wherever you're meant to go. And like Erin said, it's not necessarily the easiest path, it's the best path for you. So you just have to accept whatever that is.
No, that is just so profound. Like, I feel these sessions that we have at the end, they just are so profound. They just open up, these conversations really open your mind. And I really, really thank all of you for participating in these. We're just let's just try to make sure that we have these ideas really embedded within. So let's just close with a meditation. And Auntie Erin hasn't had a chance to lead a meditation with us. So Auntie Erin, would you like to guide us through a quick meditation now? So we can all, again, bring our attention on the top of our head and finish with our attention on the Sahasrara.
Sure, that would
so
be
everybody
lovely.
else can, if everyone else can just turn the cameras off, we'll just quickly bring Srimataji's photograph and Auntie Erin in the center.
Oh, lovely. So let's now just bring our attention back into the center and to our breath. Breathing deeply. And as we breathe out, as we push our breath out, gently push our attention back up to the crown of our head. Breathing gently in and resting. And breathing out and resting. And as we breathe out, push our attention gently back up to our crown and then above. And as we hold our attention above our head, our breathing and our heart falls into a slower, gentle rhythm. Breathing in now from above our head. And breathing out up to above our head. All our thoughts falling away into silence. Just peace in our heart. Peace and harmony and silence in our mind. So coming back now and bringing that stillness with us. So shall we let someone else end this? I'm happy to stay here forever.
Yeah, Auntie, we can just raise the Kundalini and put on a bandhan and finish with that. So if you want to do it, we'll just
lovely,
follow.
sure. Yes. Okay. Let's starting from the base chakra, let's bring that energy up and station it at the top. 1. And again, second one. 2 knots. And the third. 3 knots. And then let's wrap that energy around us 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for your beautiful vibrations.
Thank you so much, Auntie Erin, and thank you everyone for joining today. We will hopefully see you tomorrow. And please remember, we have the workshop tomorrow. So kindly join on time. Please join on Zoom instead of YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.